lost count. They pay their debt with our bank account. Chemical warfare, water and food, pills.
No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and assalamu alaikum. You are watching a special edition of the Final Call News Hour. I am your host, Herman Muhammad. Of course, the Final Call News Hour is the partner of the Final Call Online edition, which you can now visit at, let me give you a picture of this, at digital.finalcall.com. The Final Call, of course, is the most widely black-owned and operated publication not only in this country but in the world, and it also serves as the communication organ of the Nation of Islam. Again, my name is Brother Herman Muhammad, and we have a very, very special show tonight, and we're going to be coming out of this, the latest edition of the Final Call newspaper. Give you a copy of that, which reads, and this is volume 33, number 30, and it reads, Big Bucks, Violence, and Black Women. Reality TV shows may make black females look bad and are money makers for networks, show creators, and participants. But is this, the image of our women, more important than fame and a few dollars? That's the latest edition of the Final Call News Hour. Now, or the Final Call newspaper, and we're on the Final Call News Hour, of course. Now, this evening, as I said before, this is a very special edition of the Final Call because we have a very special guest. With us this evening is the Western Regional Minister of the Nation of Islam, the Western Regional Representative and of the Nation of Islam, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Student Minister Tony Muhammad. Brother Tony, are you there?
Yes, sir, dear brother.
Praise be to Allah. Awesome. Again, we have Brother Student Minister Tony Muhammad on the line, and we're going to start, Brother Tony, with the article that begins on page number 2. And this article is written by Sister Starla Muhammad, who could be reached on Twitter at simplystarla23. And the article reads, Money, Manipulation, and Media, the Corporate Feeding Frenzy on the Distorted Image of Black Women. Now, I'm going to just read a little bit of the piece, Brother Tony, and then we'll let you jump right in. The manipulation and one-dimensional portrayal of black women on television was once again thrust front and center into the spotlight after an on-camera blow-up by 2 cast members of the popular Real Housewives of Atlanta series. The profanity-laced, finger-pointing, hair-pulling melee, which aired April 20th, resulted in battery charges, an arrest warrant, endless replays, and debates on morning news shows and social media on whether Kenya Moore or Portia Miller were most at fault during part 1 of the season 6 reunion show. Now, of course, Brother Minister, this article deals with these reality TV shows, if you will, that are permeating our culture, that our people are really enamored with. First off, Brother Minister, have you seen any of these programs, Real Housewives of Atlanta, or any of the shows like that?
First, Brother Herman, let me start off with saying We're so thankful to Almighty God for all the righteous servants who come in a mighty line of divine. And we're thankful to him for Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. And certainly I am grateful and thank him for coming to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad and raising Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and giving to us the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brother, it's an honor to be on your show. Thanking you for this opportunity to speak or have a few words with those who may be lending their ear to what it is we have to say. So to answer your question, I'm sorry, I don't look at trash TV. I can't even fix my spirit look at that kind of television because teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and from the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he constantly warning us on what our enemy is doing, why he's playing our images on TV, in the manner in which he's doing. And so therefore, no, sir, I don't really get that at all. And I haven't had an opportunity to look at any of those types of shows. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can still move on because I still know you have your pulse to the community and everything that's really going on with our people. Because the article talks about how, in part, how our people are Sister what's sister's name? Sister Julianne Malveaux in the article talks about how our people's appetite for this type of programming is voracious. That's the word that she used, voracious. I mean, and in other words, we watch more of this type of television than anyone or any demographic in the world. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts on why do you think that is?
Who eats that kind of appetite?
Right.
You know, who are the players behind that kind of appetite? And what we don't realize is that it's not a matter of flesh and blood. This is a matter of qualities and wickedness and the rulers of this world.
Yes, sir.
You know, because there has always a target to keep us down. There's always been a target to destroy us and even to use images to destroy us so that the world look at us as subhuman.
Right.
So that the world can view us as animalistic so that when they bring their best plan to do away with us, many will think they're doing God a favor because they're getting rid of heathen. They're getting rid of people that the only thing we have an appetite for is sex and drugs and crime. See? Somebody is doing this through our images, and there are the mass puppeteers in the music industry, in television, and now we even finding out in our athletics, in sports.
Right.
Very, very rich, powerful brother, out to destroy us. And so that's what we're looking at a spiritual and mental war. Somebody is feeding our appetite. Somebody even made us crave these kinds of things. So who is the manipulator of the craving of our people that guide us to that?
Right. That's the question. That's the question. And Brother Tony, the article also speaks about this executive vice president of development and talent at the Bravo Cable Network. And he's a host of a show called Watch What Happens Live. And his name is Andy Cohen. And he's always, how do I want to say it? Instigating is the best word that I could use. And it always seems to be, you know, I don't want to pick on the Jewish community because, of course, we don't want to seem anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic in any sort of way. But what is it about these people to where they always seem to be at the root of this thing? Or do you see it that way? Brother Tony, are you there? Hold on, Brother Tony, hold on. Hold on. We lost Brother Tony for a second. Hold on, we're getting it right back. Okay, Brother Tony, we lost you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I guess the same people that put on that show don't hear us. Cutting us off.
Yes, sir. I was asking about the, you talked about the purveyors of this sort of filth and indecency, man, and I just wanted to, I was talking about the host of this particular show, Watch What Happens Live, who is the co-executive producer and the vice president of Bravo Cable Network, and he always seems to be instigating these sorts of shows and this sort of behavior that these sisters exhibited on this particular show. And so I was asking, I don't want to come off as anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish, but why is it that you think that it's always a Andy Cohen or Mayer or any of these other Jews that are always seem to be at the root of making these types of shows?
Well, I mean, brother, they are driven by their appetite. Their appetite is money.
Right.
And they are driven by what they practice. They don't practice the law of Moses. They practice the Talmud. And when you read what their real religious beliefs are, it is based on a culture and not a religion. So they have a culturalistic expression that's rooted in white supremacy. And so, therefore, even if they are degrading us in their eyes, they don't see nothing wrong with that because they are the authors of the curse of Ham.
Mm.
And so look at the kind of spirit they have for us. Anyway, they can smile in our face, brother, but they make us do all kind of mess.
Right.
When I speak to the rappers in L.A., when we took them to the minister, one of the things that the rapper said is that when they want to rap about something conscious, many of the Jewish A&R directors are saying, well, your people don't want to hear that. They want to hear the nigga. They want to hear about your lifestyle. They want to hear about pimping. Why don't you go there?
Right.
Because they wanted to intercept the mind when our rap music under hip-hop was lifting our consciousness. And so, dear brother, what you are looking at is a people who don't want to see us rise because our rise is their fall.
Yes, sir.
And they have become strong on the backs of our ignorance.
Mm.
So our biggest enemy ain't Jewish. Our biggest enemy ain't even white people. Our biggest enemy is our ignorance.
Very well said. Yes, sir. Another question, and I just want to read another part and then ask you this question. It says, these shows are about the denigration of black women. It pulls up every stereotype, every historical stereotype that we have. We've got Sapphire. We've got the neck-rolling sister. It's every negative stereotype, and it's repugnant, said Dr. Julianne Malveaux, economist, author, and president emerita of Bennett College for Women. And she goes on to talk about the caricature of Sapphire in the 1920s. But the question that I wanted to ask was, it seems like, we always talk about this war against black youth and black men in particular, and we see it again in the music, the hip-hop, movies, and this and that and the other. However, I don't know, lately, it seems like there's more of an attack on our black women than it is anything else. What are your thoughts on that, Brother Minister?
Well, whenever a people is under attack by another people, the first thing that is attacked is the male. Once the males have been totally dominated, the next attack is the female. See?
Yes, sir.
So they got the black man, so now the attack is to get the black woman. And you can read that in Scripture, in Pharaoh's time, in the time of Moses, when it was time for Moses to lift the consciousness of those who was in bondage in Egypt. Then Jesus came 2,000 years later. And then Jesus, at the time of his rise, when Herod saw a star, he knew it was time for a in their nursery rhymes. Jack and Jill went up here.
Right.
Jack fell down first. He fell and broke a crown.
Right.
His head. But guess who came tumbling soon after?
Yes,
The
sir.
woman.
Yes, sir.
You know, kill the male, spare the female. Because when you corrupt the woman, you corrupt the nation.
Right.
And that's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan said that 75% of our work is with the woman. You straighten the black woman out and empower her with wisdom, knowledge, and who her true and living God is, and what has happened to her man. Oh my God! Now you got a black woman with a different kind of attitude.
Right.
But if you continue to make her to appear and seem no good, wherever there is no good women, there will be no good men.
Right.
Because it is the mother who is the first teacher of the child. But if her mind is corrupt with filth and debauchery, then what is she passing? And this enemy is a science. He's a scientist of wickedness, brother. They know what they're doing. This is deliberate.
Right.
You don't see any self-respecting other ethnic group attacking their women like black people do. You wouldn't see a self-respecting Jew allowing a Jewish woman to portray herself the way black women are portraying themselves. They will call you anti-Semitic if you did that to them.
Right.
Chinese people wouldn't allow you to do this to Chinese women without attacking you and saying you anti-Chinese. But because we have been spiritually and mentally put to sleep, all matter of machination of filth happens to us, brother.
Yes, sir.
You see? So we're spiritually deaf, dumb, and blind. And that's why we need a messenger. We need someone whose voice is crying out in the wilderness to make straight the highway of our mind so that we won't be able to be used as a tool and also a slave.
Yes, sir.
We are so illiterate. We've been dumbed down so far. It's written in the Quran that the devil will make evil fair-seeming to us. In fact, it'll be so natural, we'll think wickedness is natural.
Right.
It is not natural, brother. But the dry bones are shaking, though.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't think they're going to get away with this for long. Our people are beginning to wake up, brother.
Yes,
The
sir.
slaves on the plantation are beginning to see who the enemy is. The enemy is letting them know he's slipping. He's getting so drunk with his power, he'll say anything now, like the owner for the Clippers.
Right.
Oh, brother, it's about to be Django Unchained in a minute. We're going to be saying bye-bye, Miss Laura. Say bye-bye to Miss Laura.
Yes, sir. And we definitely gonna get to that because I gotta ask you about that.
I'm sorry. I'm fine, man. But those poor little sisters don't realize they're being used as a tool and also a slave where people would think that all civilized people would think that our women are that way. And so therefore, if we're being isolated as a non-wanted people.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Now let me ask you this, brother Tony. I know you haven't seen any of the Real Housewives. Have you ever seen another show that was mentioned in the article called Scandal? And it stars a sister, Kerry Washington, and it's written by a sister named Chandra Rhimes. She wrote Grey's Anatomy and some other shows. But the sister in this show she's basically a fixer in Washington who has an affair with the president and some other white dude. But all these black women are loving this sister. I was wondering if you were familiar with that show.
Well, brother, see, our enemies have made the black man such a negative. He's portrayed us in such a negative image. And not only that, we've helped him with our agreement, with ignorance.
Right.
And therefore, we have been under attack because of him and because of our self-hatred. You see, the scripture said there was no man to till the soil. Then the scripture said, is there any help for the widow's son? And there is no man. Where are our men? Our men are in a cage.
Right.
Our men are in prison or they're dying at alarming rate. And there are no women. When the women look around, it's like there are no men.
Yes,
Then
sir.
a Safaricon taught us that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the last trap would be is to get the black woman. You look at it statistically. The black woman is the most loyal female of any ethnic group to her man.
Mm-hmm.
She is the last out of Asians, out of Caucasians, and out of Latinos. She is the last who would leave her man for another race.
Right.
And that's what they are attacking. But the black man, he'll leave it for her.
Right.
And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the last trick that the enemy would do would be interracial marriaging, and to get our sisters now wanting the white man. And that's what you see in scandal. Hell, she ain't just dealing with one white boy, she got two.
That's true. Yes, sir.
And the brother that she had was a politician, but he appeared to be so weak and not strong.
Right.
That now, it's as if, look at the white man that bought her a house in Idaho and, and love her and believe her. I mean, and that is the dream. Every black woman have a dream of a knight in shining armor.
Right.
Every black woman wants a man with power. Because that's her nature. She's a goddess. And she has to be, by her nature, she has to be associated with a man that has power, who got it going on, who's the producer. And so that's what you see happening, in these movies. You see the white man getting the best black woman, but look at when a black man has to have sex with a white woman, is his worst white woman.
Right. True
If
indeed.
you go back to the movie that Denzel Washington played in, when he flew a plane upside down, he fell in love with a drunk white woman. She was an alcoholic.
In flight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, you got to see it, man. It's a trick. It's a trap.
Indeed.
It's the Matrix. Don't follow the heifer in the red dress.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I have
That's what scandal is to do, brother. Because not only do we eat the wrong physical food, but we take in the wrong mental food.
Right.
And when you seeing that, that brings in a mental food. That is a mental food. So it's like eating pork when our sisters look at movies like that. Because that's a trick by our slave master. Brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the black woman, he needs her again to go into her to bring about his children again, because the white woman can't have children.
Right.
Her birth rate has shrunken. So we dealing with a seriously spiritual war here, brother. It ain't by color.
Yes,
It's
sir.
spiritual.
Yes, sir. And in dealing with that combat aspect, Brother Tony, how do we combat? Because one of the things that Sister points out in this article is that when you talk to our women about these shows, they'll tell us, "Oh, it's just entertainment. It's it's just fun. I'm just watching the show. Don't take it so serious." How do we combat that sort of argument?
Well, I mean, you just have to continue to speak truth into a mind that wants to think it's something else. Don't worry about how people take it.
Right.
Just make sure they got it. Did you hear what I said? Yeah, I heard you. Okay, good. That's all. Let it germinate.
Yes, sir.
When
Yes,
you plant
sir.
a seed in the ground, brother, and you put it under that black dirt, you're not going to get nothing instantly.
Right.
But as long as you put the seed of truth in her, let God then shine the light. Because when a seed is put in the ground, it is the sunlight from the sun that's in the universe that pierces through the darkness of the dirt and makes the seed bust. It is the water that continues to soak the soil that causes a root to go down and then a shoot come up.
Right.
See? And they'll be ready at harvest time. See? We're in that harvest season. Don't worry about if they heard you. They're going to cuss you, but don't think they ain't listening. Just plant the seed. Bro.
Yes, sir.
And do it with love and do it with patience, because our people didn't get this way overnight, so don't
Right.
think they're going to change overnight.
Right. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Did you have anything else, brother, that you wanted to say on this article and these type of shows, and anything else that you wanted to
Well,
give to the people before we move on?
I just think that these types of shows is showing our people. See, we have to put up the mirror, Brother Herman.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take the old meetings, the old movies of yesterday, the step it back, and put it next to these kinds of movies.
Right.
And say to our people, don't you see the same mindset that produced this one, produced that one? You don't want to see a picture of a mammy or a man with white lips.
Right.
Well, what the hell you think you're looking at when you see my sister cussing?
Right.
And every word is a B word, every word is an N word, every word is an H word. You're
Yes,
doing
sir.
the same thing. She's worse than the stepping sex.
Absolutely.
See? So you have to put a picture up because our people, when they can't see what you're saying, that's called absence of math.
Mm.
That's why the minister now, when he teaches us, he's giving us a PowerPoint presentation so we can see what he's saying.
Mm. Yes, sir.
And that's all they need to be. Show them. How would they know? Except they have a teacher. And how would they have a teacher unless somebody is sent to our dear sisters, brother?
Yes, sir.
That's
Absolutely.
it. Just put up a mirror, sister. Look at what they did to you yesterday. I know you in it for the money. I know. I can't give you $100,000 episode.
Yes, sir.
But is money more important than the liberation of your people?
Right.
See, I warn you in the name of God, dear sister. I can't do nothing to you. But I just warn you in the name of God. You are interfering with the process of the mental and spiritual resurrection of the dead. A man came 9,000 miles to get us.
Yes,
And you're
sir.
in the way.
Indeed. He
And do
certainly
it with
did.
love. It'll come across. The love will come across to them. Minister Farrakhan, when he talked to them, he never talked to them in a condescending, condemning kind of way. You know, he speaks strong as a father figure and would have warned him, but then after that, he exercises patience.
Right.
Because God is going to create the circumstance by which they will see that they are being used.
Yes, sir. Beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
All praises due to
Praise
Allah.
be to Allah. And if you're just now tuning in, we have Brother Student Minister Tony Muhammad, the Western Regional Representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam on the line. And we're talking about the latest edition of the Final Call newspaper, which the cover reads Big Bucks, Violence, and Black Women. The next piece that we want to deal with appears on, I believe it's on page 17 of this latest edition of the Final Call. And I know Brother Minister Tony has some jewels to drop in regards to this, because it deals with this young fella in Los Angeles who happens to own a Los Angeles basketball team called the LA Clippers, Donald Sterling. And this piece is written by Brother Tingba Muhammad, and it reads, Blacks should take Donald Sterling's advice. And I'm just going to read the first paragraph, then I'm going to let Brother Minister Tony go, because I know he got a lot on this one. NBA team owner Donald Takowitz Sterling has gotten black people very upset. Even the first black president sounded disgusted. Quote, when ignorant folks want to advertise their ignorance, you don't really have to do anything. You just let them talk. That's what happened here, the president said. President Obama also said Sterling's alleged comments are an example of how the United States continues to wrestle with the legacy of race and slavery and segregation. That's still there. The vestiges of discrimination. We've made enormous strides, but you're going to continue to see this percolate up every so often. And that's how the article begins, and he goes on, and he has some real. It's a really good commentary by Brother Tingba. But Brother Tony, I wanted to get your insight on this whole Donald Sterling situation.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, dear brother. I'm grateful to have gotten some guidance from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on this situation. And I spoke at a protest rally here in Los Angeles, and the minister gave me some divine guidance as to how to speak in that kind of atmosphere with what's happening. And, what you see with Mr. Sterling, the minister said to us to watch. Watch what happens this year. He said this at Savior's Day. Watch the climate. Watch the temperature. He said God is not going to allow us to go to sleep in this hour. God will create the circumstances by which we will see our enemy as he is. See? Because a slave gets lulled to sleep real easy. And what you see in Mr. Sterling is not just him. It is a culture. He kept telling us what it was. It's my culture.
Right.
But what is his culture?
Right.
I'm
That's
a
the
Jew.
question.
And niggas ain't nothing. It's in our Talmud. They the curse of Ham. He spoke like a slave master. I feed them. I clothe them.
Right.
I give them cars. I give them houses. See? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, brother, go back 400 years. That's the same cry. He said that they bred us to work in their fields. They bred brute, strong black men and women to pick their cotton, to tote that pail of water, to build their homes. And they worked us from Casey in the morning to Casey at night. For nearly 310 years they did this to us. They broke us mentally and spiritually, and we made them very wealthy, and they never shared their wealth with us.
Right.
Fast forwarded. 400 years later, they got the same mentality. And many of our people don't know because they have not read the secret relationship between blacks and Jews put out by this great man called Louis Farrakhan.
Right.
Who's outlining the truth on what relationship we have, what relationship we had then and now, and how that relationship must change. Because they haven't changed their thinking. So Mr. Sterling thinks he owns them. And Mr. Sterling know that his culture, he even said they treat black people worse in Israel.
Right.
And the girl asked him, why? Why? Is black people less than Jews? He said 100%. Now, brother, this man has been thinking like this. He's 80 years old all his life.
Wow.
This man has been found guilty by the federal government of discriminating in L.A. against blacks, Latinos, and Asians. He said we are a natural problem to housing because we attract roaches and rodents.
Wow.
And he refused to rent out properties to black people. And he had to get sued. And he didn't care. He fought the suit.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's his culture. They all think like that. He became so wealthy, so powerful, that he became a kingmaker, brother. He's a kingmaker. He has had a team longer than any other NBA owner.
Right.
And of the 30 owners, 18 or 19 of them are Jews. He helped to craft the law by which anyone could own a team. So you think he's going to go out and just walk away? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said they all think like that, brother. They all everybody know how they all think.
Right.
See? And the athletes threatened, which they are putting it out now, but the real threat was none of the athletes was going to play in the NBA playoffs. They was getting ready to boycott the playoffs.
Right.
That's what made him move, brother. And now, what does Mr. Sterling have on the other owners that if they try to out him, he'll lay it all out?
Right.
Oh, Allah, brother, God. So I was asked, because they trying to point, well, Minister Tony, what was the motive of the woman? I said, I don't give a damn about her motive.
Right.
I said, I see God in this. Won't you ask me about God? What was God's motive?
Right.
And the woman said, well, what do you mean? What was God's motive? I said, well, he got two wills. He's got an active will, and he has a permissive will. So we need to know, why did he allow it? Nothing happens but by his will.
Right.
What is God trying to tell us? He's throwing a lifeline out, saying, I'm giving you another opportunity, black people, to unite. Now he's angering the rich slaves, the Jangos, and some of these young brothers is not scared.
Yes,
See?
sir.
So with the help of God and the help of this youth, they are letting it be known how they feel about black people.
Right.
And he's being used by God as a tool that will wake us up and cause our shaking. And the scripture in the book of Ezekiel say the bones were shaking because they thought their hope was gone. They thought they would never come together as a people. But look at what's happening. Jay-Z is talking now.
Right.
Snoop is talking. Dre is talking. Lil Wayne is talking. They're talking about meeting. So we've called for a meeting of all the black athletes.
Praise be
To
to
go
Allah.
and meet in private. Go have a summit. And allow Minister Farrakhan to sneak in among you and teach you the time and what must be done.
Yes, sir.
See?
Praise be to
But
Allah.
we got some handkerchief heads, brother. we got
Always.
some, like that Uncle Tom and Django. We got Negroes who have been sent as a fireman for the white man to throw
Right.
water on the angry spirit of black people. You know, it's always a Negro who's trying to put out the fire of the slave master house harder than he is.
Right.
But it ain't going to work in this hour, brother.
Yes,
And so
sir.
that's what you see happening. And lastly, go look it up. The name that even the basketball team is wearing, brother, is the name of a slave ship.
The Clippers.
It's called the Clipper ship. That ship was manufactured after the Emancipation Proclamation because there were some Jews who refused to stop selling slaves.
Wow.
And it was manufactured in 1740 because it was a fast ship. And they used to smuggle drugs and black Africans, into the Americas.
Yes, sir.
So the ship was called the Baltimore Clippers, but it was called the Clipper ship. Could it be that this man's family owned them?
Right.
Because he did change his name. So that's what we're dealing with, brother. This thing is deep. It's deep, brother. Something is happening. And all these years, they've been calling Minister Farrakhan an anti-Semite. Now we're seeing who's the real anti-Semite.
Right.
The anti-black.
Right.
God is making it happen, brother. He's pulling the covers off these wicked feet.
Yes, sir. Now let me ask you this, Brother Minister. In regards to the commissioner, the NBA commissioner's move, Mr. Silver, to fine him $2.5 million and to ban him for life. What do you think motivated him to make that move?
The athletes said that they were going to boycott the NBA. The other slaves were saying they were going to run away from the plantation. He can't allow that.
Right.
They don't care for the athletes, but they can't allow their money to run off their plantation, the kind of money they making.
Right.
That man bought the Clippers for $12.5 million. They are worth $765 million. Look at that. Look at what he done made.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See?
Absolutely. Now, I saw on Twitter that Larry Johnson came out and man, he told the players, the brothers, straight up, man, y'all need to form your own league. That's what you need to do. What are your thoughts on that and the potential reality of that ever becoming a reality?
Well, that, business is war now.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said it was three things the enemy never taught us, brother. That was the science of mating, the science of business, and the science of war. See? If you remember, you may not remember, but there was a time where Puff Daddy, Russell, Suge Knight, many of them were talking about manufacturing their own music.
Right.
Meaning that Interscope and Sony they would have been competing against those giants.
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden, Tupac dead, Biggie dead. Was that a message then?
Yes,
See?
sir.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told us in the time and what must be done. That was a private meeting held. Those in music was letting even some of the big music mogul acts know we own prison. They
Yes,
wanted
sir.
music that would help fill their bottom line. So now the musicians have become the Pied Pipers to the prison because they rap about criminality, holiness, crime, get high. Everything that is in you up in prison, they rap about and glorify it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, brother, it's a wicked time, brother.
Yes, sir.
This is a wicked day, but God is pulling the covers off of this. Ray Charles can see this now.
Indeed, indeed. Let me ask you this, because I know you I want to say a mover and a shaker in Los Angeles, and you know a lot of athletes and a lot of entertainers. It just seems to me from the outside looking in that entertainers, you mentioned Puffy and Jay-Z and all of these cats who have become multimillionaires. Really, a lot of them are actually moguls. How they've been able to parlay their music into these huge business empires, whereas we always hear about these athletes who go broke. You know what I mean? They'll make millions and millions of dollars, and then after a while they end up going broke after the game is over. What do you attribute the athlete's failures and the entertainer's success? If I'm being clear.
Well, I mean, I don't know where you get that datum from, and I'm not quite clear. I'm in agreement with that.
Okay.
Because I don't, but again, you may have found and looked that up and know where I can pull that information.
Right.
Now, the only thing that I can attribute it to, in my opinion, because I don't know if that's a fact, but let's say that is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
It can only be attributed to ignorance,
Right.
brother. And in fact, even if you look at the music moguls, do they really have the kind of money they say they have? Do they really have the net worth? Because many of them will live a lifestyle as wide as the money they got.
Right.
Because we've never had this kind of money before.
Right.
You're dealing with young brothers who are 17 years old, 18 years old, becoming millionaires, came out of the project. Man, they have no sense of value when it comes to money, or how to value it, or how to make money work for them. For the Bible said, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
See? And that's why we have in our lesson, why does the devil keep our people illiterate? So that he can use them as a tool and also a slave. So that he can master us, brother.
Yes, sir.
He makes us like cars. You put an earring in your ear so big, it makes you tip over when you try to drive. And it has no value once you go out of the jewelry store with it.
Right.
It's got value to you. But we place value in the wrong place. We don't know that the basis of freedom is the basis of having land,
Right.
real estate. See?
Yes, sir.
They like to have 7 phantoms so that they can brag in the hood. And when they drove that phantom off the lot, the Jew who sold it to them was like, look at this damn fool. And the Jew who sold him the phantom drove off in his Camry.
Right. Right.
Oh, brother.
Praise
We're just
be to
ignorant,
Allah.
that's all.
Yes,
But
sir.
when you teach them right, they'll get right, see? They need strong teaching, man. And I think it's time. I think we're in that time, brother, of the resurrection of the dead. I think the bones are shaking now because from those dry bones came an exceedingly great army. And remember, every 30 to 40 years there's a movement. And we're
Right.
at that time of a movement. Will it be? Could it be that some of them athletes are going to do what Muhammad Ali did?
Right.
Could be that some of them athletes are going to do what Jim Brown did, what Louis Alcindor did, what John Carlos did in the Olympics, man. See, they got that kind of spirit.
Yes,
And I
sir.
think we're going to see it, brother. Just wait. It ain't over.
Yes, sir.
More is going to come out.
Yes, sir. Now, what did you think? And I'm going to ask you this question because I know what I thought of it. But when the Clippers did their little demonstration where they took their little warm-ups off in the middle of the court.
That's the sign. That's the sign of the dry bone shaking.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about.
Praise be to Allah.
And then all the other athletes wore black socks in support of them. That's the shaking that's going on.
Yes, sir. So
But I don't think it's over. I said that all black athletes and entertainers should go on retreat and meet and talk about what kind of power you all have as a collective body and how to line that power up with the true aspirations and needs of your people.
Yes, sir.
And anybody who you do business with have to flow power to your community.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
See? Take the lifeline while God done gave it to you. You know, he throwed us another lifeline.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I think it's that time, brother. It is that Farrakhan spirit time.
Indeed.
See? And those of us who follow him, brother, have to echo him. We got to blow this trumpet.
Indeed. And in that vein, Brother Minister, I mean, you're talking about solutions with regard to economic development amongst those black athletes and economic development amongst us and purchasing land. What I wanted to talk about for the next few minutes before we end the program is the economic blueprint. If you could share with the viewers the economic blueprint and the vision of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Well, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a man, dear brother, who's been teaching us for over 50 years. He is a man that has put his life on the line, his reputation. He speaks truth to power and responsibility to the victim. He is a man that has proven time and time again that his role and his goal is bigger than a group called Nation of Islam. And although Islam is his religion, but he was taught and trained to think all 50 million of us here in America and then all 4 billion of us around the world. And I think he has proven that he could be trusted. He has never sold us out. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is asking us to put our nickels and dimes in a trust that he said he would stand at the head of and swear with his life that he would never abuse the money that black people put behind him, that he could use to carve out a new financial reality for us here in America since we have no job, since we have no way of getting money. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has set up a economic blueprint. And that blueprint is so powerful that he's just asking us to lay aside a nickel a day. 35 cents a week. See? That's $1.20, I think it is, a month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's no money.
$1.40.
That don't
Yes, sir.
hurt me.
That's
That
right.
don't hurt me. It don't hurt you.
That's right.
But if 20 million of us, if all of us did that, brother, that would bring in those coffers over $100 million a year and leverage $100 million. He said then he will start buying up land in the South. See? Buying cattle, buying those goods and services that we use, and set up manufacturing plants. See, this is a good time now for the athletes who have been shook.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would say, Brother Farrakhan, we'll help you. Maybe they'll be like Muhammad Ali, when Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Lou Alcindor, Bill Russell, they all came together and they started helping the Black Power movement and the Civil Rights movement. Entertainers started getting behind the Panther Party, the nation, Dr. King. I think we're about to see that happen all over again.
Yes,
brother.
sir. Praise be to Allah.
And Minister Farrakhan deserve it. Everyone that's on this line who's listening needs to go to the Nation of Islam website and click on to the economic blueprint and sign up and give Minister Farrakhan a nickel. You got a nickel in your ashtray under them cigarette butts. It ain't doing nothing. If you was driving down the freeway and a nickel went out of the window, you wouldn't even stop your car to go get it.
That's right. That's right.
See? There's a nickel sitting in your ashtray at the house. Your children don't even want it because it ain't worth that. They can't even get a cookie with a nickel.
That's right.
But nickels from 20 to 40 to 30 million people at one time behind a man who we can trust. You give your nickel to that man, he gives you back farmland. He gives you back hospitals. He gives us back schools. He set up trade and commerce so that now we can go speak to China. We can go speak to Saudi Arabia. We can go speak and start repairing Africa. That's what Farrakhan could do. And the return on your investment.
Yes, sir.
My God. See?
Yes,
So
sir.
go, brothers and sisters. If you want to help, it's time for Django to be unchained.
Unchained.
Either today you have the spirit of Django, or you have the spirit of Samuel Jackson, who played that huckabuck Negro. And if you are the Samuel Jackson, you will burn in the house of the slave master.
Yes,
We will,
sir.
I ain't gonna say shoot you in your kneecap, because you'll take that literally. But if you follow the slave master today, you're not gonna walk.
That's right.
There is no future following him today. It might look like it. Sodom and Gomorrah didn't think she was going to fall.
Right.
He just thought she was going to be around a long time. Rome thought she would never not see glory. All of them failed.
That's right.
See? And the first thing that God destroyed of all of those great kingdoms was their wealth. See? So we can't be like Lazarus in the Bible today. Lazarus was at the gate of the rich man begging for the crumbs from his table. But the rich man died.
Right.
And Lazarus died. But God, Abraham, he went into hell. He didn't get the rich man, but he grabbed Lazarus.
Right.
When the rich man called out to Lazarus, Lazarus, please dip your hand in a cool glass of water. And Abraham said, hell no. No. Nothing for you. See?
Yes, sir.
But we can't be no begging organization today. NAACP can't be Lazarus today.
Right.
SCLC can't be like Lazarus today. Urban League can't be Lazarus today, giving a man who's a known racist, worked in the Klan, 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards. Damn, he ain't got but 1 life. How does he get 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards? Trying to kill that demon and hoping he come back so he have another award.
That check must have been fat, Brother Minister.
Check had to be fat, brother. Because when Farrakhan comes around, They want to know who that is on that sign.
Yes,
No,
sir.
brother. It's time for us not to be begging for no crumbs off a table. It's time for us to build a table.
Yes, sir.
We got power collectively, brother. Look at all of the wealth we got in athletics and entertainment, brother. The minister told me to tell them we don't own gold mines, oil mines, diamond mines. But what we do have wealthy is our talent.
Yes.
Nobody
Yes,
is as talented as we are.
Right.
And with our talent, we even have the same as children following us.
That's right.
And God want to place us at the top of civilization. But we must be cleaned up, brother.
Yes, sir.
And Minister Farrakhan is the man to do it. And that's why that economic blueprint, everybody who's listening can give a nickel.
Yes,
and then
sir.
watch what Brother Farrakhan do. He's already said he put his life on it. You ain't got no Negro leader who will say if he do something wrong, you can take him out.
Right. Indeed.
You ain't got
indeed.
not one leader who will say that.
That's right.
See? Now, brothers and sisters, whether you Muslim or not, support the economic blueprint of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and watch what happens. So, brothers, I am so honored to have had this hour with you all before I have to go into another meeting.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm about to meet with some these civil rights group who want some clarity on some of my words on yesterday. You know.
Yes, sir. Well, Brother Minister, man, I so appreciate you coming on. I thank Allah for you, and I thank Allah that for the spirit that you brought to this program. And I know everyone who's listening, man, is going to benefit greatly from the words that you share from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And, brother, I just want to thank you again from the depth of my heart.
Thank you, dear brother. You know, I would just say to your audience, I would love for them to follow me on Twitter, Brother Tony Muhammad, you know, and at Brother Tony Muhammad, and then on my Instagram, where I'm doing a pictorial teachings on Instagram.
Praise be
And
to
on
Allah.
Instagram, I'm Minister, M-I-N, Tony Muhammad. M-I-N, Tony Muhammad, at M-I-N, Tony Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
And you can go on YouTube at Farrakhan. It has Minister Tony Muhammad's word at the rally. Oh, brother, and you can just go and just see what I said. And thank you. And thank you and your listening audience. And may God bless you, Brother Herman, and your listening audience. We're in that hour, man. Keep your eye on the weather. Keep your eye on the circumstances and events that's going to get big this year.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, so may Allah bless you and thank you and your family.
Thank you, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. That was Brother Student Minister Tony Muhammad, the Western Regional Minister or Western Regional Representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Powerful, powerful representation. And I just thank Allah for him and for him coming on. Again, we'll have all Brother Minister Tony's information up on the site once we post the interview. His Twitter, his Instagram, as well as his Facebook, and so that you could be in contact with him. I want to tell you all about, while we still have a little bit of time, about an event that we're going to do on May 24th. Again, I apologize, my mic wasn't on. The Million Man March, The Untold Story. This is going to be an event that's going to be held on May the 24th at the Crossroads Theater at 25th and Welton. More information is forthcoming, but we just cordially want to invite you to that particular event. This broadcast is being brought to you by Supreme Style Barbershop And visit our new website at www.astar2.com. Supreme Style Barbershop, the greatest barbershop in the land, where your man, Brother Herman Muhammad, is your master barber. Jack of all trades. Master of many. But I just want to say to you all, man, thanks for listening. Stay black, stay strong. And remember, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Peace! We out. Love, peace, happiness.
For everything, let me put you in the mood. Wall Street, Enron, your pension and 401k bingo. Racial tension in high places. We don't see racism, we erase it. Brutality, we replace it. Give you a dose of your medicine, taste it. Legislation setting traps, chasing anything dark, black, brown, red, or Haitian. Contemplating everybody.